Welcome back, adventurers. Thank you guys for joining me on another video. Today's video, we're gonna talk about what it's like owning a wolf dog from 2 months to a year. Now, before I get into it, let me clear some things out. Not all wolf dogs are the same. Some wolf dogs are mainly German Shepherd and Wolf. Some can be Husky and Wolf. Some can be Husky, Malamute, and Wolf. Some can be a mixture of all three. And these three breeds are gonna bring out different characteristics inside your dog. So although you might have the same percentage as somebody, their dog might differ greatly from yours if they happen to have more husky as opposed to your German Shepherd. So basically, my video is going to be about my experiences with my wolf dog. So let's get into it, and let's start about when he was a small puppy. I got him when he was only 2 months old. And I think that kind of plays a role into how much he trusted me because he was so young. He ended up howling quite a bit, regardless if I was next to him or not. Now, I kind of feel like that was him calling his pack and trying to rejoin them. So I knew that it was my task to get him to trust me. The more walks we went to, the more park time, the more activities we did together, the closer we ended up getting. And it took about a month for him to completely trust me. Nonetheless, he never hid his energetic side for me. He would run laps around the living room. He was going up and down everywhere. He was destroying everything. He was so crazy. And the worst part is that he was insanely smart too. I'm going to share with you guys a small story that I put on the Blue Bay Shepherd page. And I was surprised to know that a lot of their wolf dogs actually did the same thing. He knew he wasn't supposed to chew the furniture. And I know he knew because he would get reprimanded when he would. So when he would bite the furniture, I would go and I would give him one of the toys. Usually it was a bone that he was more interested in as opposed to the rubber one or the stuffed toys. And he ended up learning that I wanted him to chew those objects instead of my furniture. Fan would take the bone, he would go to the furniture that he was trying to bite, place the bone next to the leg of the chair, and start gnawing on the chair instead of the bone. And I'd be doing homework or I'd be watching TV or washing the dishes, and I would hear the little gnawing of the wood, and I would peek over, and there he was gnawing on the wood with his bone next to him. And I'm like, what is he doing? So I called him. I'm like, Fan. He instantly stopped chewing the furniture leg and started chewing his bone. And I was just like, what in the world? This dog literally is trying to play me like a fool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's insanely smart. That's very intelligent. And he would do this so often with different toys that he was able to chew the outer part of the furniture legs without me knowing, because I thought that he was chewing his toy most of the time, unless I specifically heard that hard gnaw from the wood. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, you should have walked him more, you should have went on more hikes, more walks, this and that. We actually did. The thing is that he had so much energy, and even now, even when we go for 3-4 mile runs, he comes back like nothing's happened. He lays down for maybe 20-30 minutes. He's up and he's running around playing with my other dogs. So this is something that you guys have to consider if you're thinking about getting a wolf dog, is how much time and how much patience you have with these energetic dogs. So although wolf dogs are extremely intelligent, they're also very self-serving. That means it's not going to be like a German Shepherd, a Malinois, a Border Collie, a Blue Heeler. Dogs that are more willing to listen to you and love having that obedience. Instead, wolf dogs are going to learn your commands, but they're gonna do them for their own benefit as opposed to yours. What I mean by that is, if I were to tell Fan to sit, he would kind of stare at me and be like, why? As opposed to if I had a piece of ham in my hand and I said sit, he'd be like, okay, instant sit, instant down, instant anything, if there is a high enough reward for him. So the way I think of it is that wolf dogs are more self-aware than regular dogs. And I'll give another example once I get to the 12-month stage. Right now I'm talking about Fan's behavior from 2 months to 4 months. So we have that he howled a lot, that he's very energetic, he's an insane chewer, and he's able to learn commands, but more so with his own benefit. So let's jump into Fan when he was 4 to 8 months old. Now, obviously wolf dogs are pretty big animals, right? We all know that. But let me tell you this, I never expected him to grow this fast. He was honestly gaining like 6 pounds a week sometimes. It was between 4 to 6 pounds a week that he was gaining. And I was in shock. I'm like, what? He was just 28 pounds last week. Now he's 35. And every week he was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. With the increase in height came the desire to start chewing stuff that were eye level to him, as opposed to like laying down and getting down to having to bite the legs. He was like, well, why should I do that if I can just get eye level and gnaw at whatever I want? In my case, that was window ledges. With a bigger size also came more fur. And with more fur comes more shedding. Before the 4 months, he didn't really shed that much because, I mean, he didn't have that much fur anyways. But because he was growing at such a fast pace, he started shedding a lot more, which means daily cleanups, which means a lot of fur around the house, which means a lot of dirt too. Now at 4 to 8 months, he's already being more independent. He kind of still relied on me for a lot of things. You know, if we were out, he wanted to be next to me. But he started being more curious now. Now he wasn't so afraid of stuff. Now he was more like, hey, I wonder what this is. Hey, I don't know what that is, but I kind of want to go check it out. So mainly for the 4 to 8 months, if you're owning a wolf dog or a blue bay shepherd, I would suggest that you get a broom, that you get a comb, and that you keep hitting those gnawing behaviors. Now let's talk about the changes that I saw when he was 8 months to 12 months. One of the biggest things I saw was the increase in confidence with foreign objects. Now it was random because before that he was afraid of trash cans, he was afraid of trash bags, and he kind of still is because wolf dogs are known to be very cautious with foreign objects. But now he kind of understands that the trash can's not gonna do anything to him. He kind of understands and he knows these kind of things. And before, even if the box, like he used to be afraid of boxes, and if the box was there at the couch, he wouldn't go near it. Now he kind of looks at the box and he's like, all right, maybe it's not that scary, and he goes up to it, he smells it, and then fear goes away, which is awesome. Obviously, with months comes maturity, and what happens when dogs become mature? They tend to get more territorial. Now, Fen isn't territorial with humans. He's actually very cautious with humans, and he kind of doesn't really like to get near the ones he doesn't know that well. Unless Ghost and Bebop are kind of there interacting with them, then he kind of gains that confidence from them and he goes up to them. What I mean is that he was more territorial with animals. There was actually I don't know if it was a cat or an owl, something got into the tree, right? I'm assuming it was a cat that jumped on the tree that's in my backyard, and Fen started barking at it. And this is, I mean, it was insane. Like, this is something that I had never seen from Fen before. It was literally the first time that he's ever barked, and that was like a month and a half ago. Prior to this, he's never barked once at something. He barks like the little yelps while they're playing, but not barking like if there's a person coming in or if there's an animal. No, like, he's never done that. So for him to start barking at a cat or an animal, I don't know what it was. I couldn't see what it was. I tried to spend like 30 minutes outside. For him to bark at it was astonishing to me. I mean, I had never seen anything like that from him before. Now let me give you guys an example of what happens if he's outside and there's a dog passing by. Well, he doesn't bark. Instead, he howls. So just know that if you're going to get a low content wolf dog, they're going to start howling a lot. Also, I want to hit real quick that I know some blue bay shepherds are as low as 8% wolf dog. Now, right now I'm speaking in terms of Fen. Fen is 38, so he's kind of a little bit higher than that. So don't take everything I'm saying right now for Fen if you're going to buy a blue bay shepherd to heart. Look into the parents of the puppy you're buying. Ask what the percentage should range from, and then go from there. Now, one of the biggest and worst issues that I've had that came from Fen growing up was him learning his own strengths. Now, I don't say that for my safety or anything like that, or somebody's safety. I say that because he kept breaking out of his kennel. Prior to this, he didn't know that he was able to bend and force the door open. But as he got older, he kind of started testing out how far he could push the front cage, and eventually he was able to push it far enough to where it just opens, which makes him a huge escape artist, and it's really, really, really tiring. And let me tell you, I had already seen a lot of dogs do this prior to the 10-month mark on Facebook, and I was like, wow, as crazy as Fen is, he doesn't like to escape from his cage. And I was like, this is awesome. I don't have to worry about it. Well, one day I got home from school, and guess who I saw peeping through the drapes before I opened the door? Let's just say he ripped up my remote and a couple other stuff. And I'm not really into buying a $2,000 heavy duty cage, because now they sell cheaper options. If your dog is like 2 inches tall that weighs 5 pounds, but Fen is already hitting 29 inches, 90 pounds. He just grew 2 inches in the last month. I would literally need the one that's the size of a Great Dane just for him to be there comfortably, and that's a lot of money. So my cheap solution right now is I bought a lock, and I locked it where he likes to bend the cage, and he's not able to bend it anymore because the lock is too strong. So for those of you that are interested in getting a wolf dog, I would actually suggest that you guys buy a metal sheet as well if you don't want to spend that much money on buying an extra cage. Drill 4 holes on it, put some zip ties, and put it in the front side of the cage. That way he can't claw at it. Let's talk about some positive changes I saw in Fen throughout the year. The biggest positive thing I saw was that as he grew older, he grew more affectionate. We always had this little thing, and I posted this video on my Instagram a while back, where I would open the cage when I was home from work, and I would lay down on my couch, and he would come up to me, and we would just cuddle for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. It became like a little habit, a daily thing for us. And I actually think that that was one of the biggest reasons why he became so affectionate. Now he's more like a cat. I get home, he comes up to me, he has this really bad habit of jumping. I mean, he doesn't jump, but he stands up and then he puts his paws here. and he just starts licking my face. But he didn't used to do that. He used to be very like mellow. Like if somebody came, he'd be a little bit happy, but then he just it'd go away. Now he rubs his body on me like a cat, and he just stays there waiting for me to pet him. He also doesn't like if I'm petting him and I just get back to the computer or do whatever I'm doing. He kind of just sits there like, dude. He puts his paw on me, and he'll put his head on my hand so I can continue petting him. His behavior was more visible towards the 10 to 12 month mark, but I'm glad that it happened because it allowed us to be closer together. You know, I see some posts of wolf dogs not really liking their personal space invaded, and I'm not gonna lie, Fen was like that. Not so much that he didn't like his space invaded, but more like if you were to lay down with him, he would just stand up and go somewhere else. He was just, like, he wouldn't growl or anything. He would just not want to be close to people, and he would just he would walk away. He would go somewhere else. And he even did that with Ghost. And I actually think that Ghost was one of the biggest reasons why Fen changed this way. Because Ghost is so thin that he would get cold on the floor, so he would go and find Fen and lay on him. And it didn't matter how far Fen would go, Ghost would follow him. So I ended up doing this too. Every time Fen would lay down, I would go to the floor, lay down with him, and just start cuddling him. And eventually he started liking it, and now he actually seeks it. Now I want to mention two more things that happened throughout his entire year, and that is that he's extremely mouthy when playing with humans and with animals. What it means for us is that don't be afraid if your wolf dog plays a little bit rough with you. That's how they are, and that's how they interact with each other. A lot of people get kind of misconceptions when wolf dogs are biting their hands or their owner's hands or maybe their arm or something, and they feel like they're hurting them. They're not. He doesn't bite hard, but it's nothing to worry about. It's just the way he plays, and you're gonna end up with a little bit of scars and scratches, and that's fine. That's part of owning wolf dog. And honestly, if you really care about not having scars and being dirty and stuff like that, then maybe you should suggest a smaller dog or a dog that's more fit to your lifestyle. And essentially that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up, a comment, and subscribe. Share this video to other wolf dog owners or people who are thinking about getting wolf dogs or a blue bay shepherd. And if you guys happen to have any other questions regarding this topic, please put them down below. Peace and love from my pack to yours. Actually, I'm going to show you guys what they're doing right now because they're in this room. But there they are. They're all sleeping together.